Hello, welcome. So this is kind of I've done these update videos before, so that's kind of what this is. I'm going to play Valorant whilst I'm doing it, but I'm not going to really be focusing too much on it. So I'm fully expecting to lose this comp game and be bad. I'm here to talk, and kind of give my very small audience an idea what's going on. So it's been about 6 months plus since I've really been recording properly. I'm sorry about that, but that's going to hopefully change in the future. But right now, I feel like I'm going to tell you that right now things with me are a bit. I'm kind of in a. I'm struggling at the moment, purely because I have just lost the love of my life. The person I plan to marry, the person I plan to spend the rest of my life with. And obviously that in and of itself is terrifying and heartbreaking. And it's a shame because we're not even friends at this point. There is no way of us contacting each other. Hopefully that will change, but I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to force it. It will kind of happen as I believe. It will kind of happen how it's supposed to happen, right? So it sucks, but you know, I hope we can. I hope that we can reconnect. I hope that she reaches out to me. I still believe that me and her are meant to be together. I still believe that we're meant to. Yeah, I still believe we're meant to be together forever. I still believe we're right for each other. However, the current version of me is not right for her, and the current version of her is not right for me. And that's kind of where things are at on that front. So that's kind of where we are. However, knowing this, I get she's now, as far as I'm aware, she's now moved on, and she is dating somebody else. In her defense, she hasn't done anything wrong, because me and her were not dating. We dated back in January, of this year, but before January this year, when things between us ended. We stayed in contact then. We talked. We spent a lot of time, and we're in a situation where we weren't together. We weren't not together. You know, and there was potential. Like, I recently come back from visiting her, and there was a potential where we both truly believed we were going to work out again. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen at this moment in time. It's sad, but it is the way it is, and I hope she's happy with this new person. I'm not going to get into detail of my opinion on him and how I feel things are going to go between them, because that's not really anything for me to talk about. But if she's keeping him happy and she is genuinely happy, then I am fine with it. I can accept that. I can accept that they're together and be okay with it. And I still would like her to reach out to me and talk to me. I always said to her that I would always be there for her if she needed me. And I will be. But I am at the point where I am starting to move on myself. Not necessarily let go of her, but but move on from our relationship and what we had. At least for now. Like I said, I'm not going to force anything. It would be nice for her to reach out to me. I'm hoping she does. Because it would be nice.
Chill. He's coming up to me. Where
Yes, it would be nice for her to reach out to me, and of course, if she does, I'm not going to ignore her. And I will talk to her. I am not going to go out of my way to force anything. I am not going to go out of my way to make that happen. if she contacts me first, then 100% I will talk to her. So that's kind of where I'm at. I am doing better myself.
Put the trap garage.
Maybe it's something I should say at the beginning of the video. I am better myself. I have indeed had a mindset shift, and things are changing within me. I realise, and I am generally starting to realise and understand that in certain situations when I was with her, I mistreated her. I treated her the way I shouldn't. There were situations between two of us that I should have approached differently than I did. And the biggest thing that is that we both need to better ourselves before we can be in a position where we can be together again.
Garage.
That
I
is
have a
that
bandage.
is kind of where I'm at with that. And I believe we will reconnect, and I
Thank
believe
you much. Trust.
that
Take Vandal, take Vandal.
There's a vandal, man.
I still have hope, and I still believe that me and her are meant to be, and that's not going to change at this moment in time. But like I was saying, this version of me is not right for her, and this version of her is not right for me. So this version of me and this version of her, their relationship together as a couple is, and maybe friends, is a and that chapter ended. However, the chapter of just Nathan and I believe has not come to an end yet. I believe that chapter is still there. I believe that book is still open, and that book is still being written today. However, that will take time. That is one of those things where I can have all I can do is be there for her if she needs me. Not force anything on her. And wait for her to reach out to me, and not force it, and let her do what she's got to do. With this other guy, like I don't know her intentions. Other guy, I don't know if this new guy that she's with, or I say new, it's one of her exes, but I'm not going to get into that too much. Is whether she's with him for a distraction to help her feel better, or whether she genuinely is happy with him and genuinely, and he might be distraction and she might be happy. You know, there's no way to know. But I can't be the one to get away and advise otherwise. It is whatever happens between them happens. I've got to accept that, which I'm starting to accept. I've got to learn that, and I've got to be able to let that happen. And yeah, so that's where I'm with that.
That jump shot was crazy, bro.
But in terms of like me and changing, my mindset has shifted quite a bit. My perspective on things has shifted quite a bit. Like I said, there's a lot of things that I know I did wrong in our relationship. There are things I could have approached differently and better. And I recognise these now, and I'm in the process of making sure that they don't happen again. Making sure that I don't repeat the same mistakes, which I did do when I was with her. I repeated the same mistakes, and at this point in time, I need to make sure that I can stay true to myself and ensure that that doesn't happen. So, that being said, yeah,
Oh my god.
that being said, sorry, my brain is kind of like stopped working for a second.
Maybe he's flank.
But yeah, that being said, about like improving and doing better and this and that. Things are gonna take time. And this and that.
Nice.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
But I need to. I don't hate her. Like I said, she did absolutely nothing wrong. She had no reason to believe she did anything wrong, and I don't want her to think she did anything wrong because she did not. My brothers are all there for her if she needs them, if she wants to reach out to them. They are there. I hope she does reach out to them if it's too much for her or things are too much. I hope she's genuinely happy, and if she is, then that's great. I'm glad she's happy because at the end of the day, that's all I wanted from her. I wanted her to be happy, and genuinely happy. So so things going on between the two of them, you know, I'm gonna let that happen. I'm not gonna let it bother me, and I'm kind of at the point where I need to. I haven't necessarily let go of her, just like I don't believe she's let go of me. But I do need to move on.
Enemy ace. No, you stole my ace.
But I need to move on myself, and I am moving on. I am moving on the fact that I'm moving on from this version of myself and this version of her.
Oh fuck.
Don't troll.
She will figure things out. She will work things out, and I hope she does so. And I know that whatever happens is the things going on between her and the current guy that she is with. I believe and know that it's meant to happen, and she will. It's all happening for a reason. Like I said, I hope that she doesn't get too heartbroken if things go south. But I will be there to pick her back up if she wants me to. If she reaches out to me and says that I want to talk because of this and this and that, then I will of course talk to her. Because I've always said I'll be with her, and that's never going to change. But my focus right now is I'm spending a lot of time focusing on myself, making changes so that in the future, regardless of whether it's with her or not, any future relationships and future friendships, I don't make the same mistakes that I made during our relationship. There are times where I know I had it good with her, and I knew I was extremely lucky, but I took that for granted at times. And it's a case of me learning not to do that in the future, whether again that be with her or someone else. So that is something that I need to ensure and work on. Make sure that I keep true to that and not let that get in the way of things again. Because yes, there were times when I absolutely didn't take her for granted, and I absolutely like, yes, I'm so lucky, and I was lucky. I was incredibly lucky to have her in my life. I was incredibly lucky to have her as a girlfriend. I was incredibly lucky to have what we had. Things that I think about between us is painful. And that's just human nature. You know, I can't control that. I'm not gonna control that. But I'm not gonna let things have gone wrong between me and Una to cause me any kind of. It's caused me to go really badly in my life, spiral, and not change the things that I need to change. Because at the end of the day, I need to better myself, not only for myself, but for her. If me and her reconnect again, do I believe we're going to reconnect? 100%. I don't have a doubt. I don't have a doubt that me and her will reconnect at some point in our lives. It could be soon. It could not be soon. Again, I believe it will be sooner rather than later. And I hope it is too. There are things that I want to tell her. There are things that I want to say to her. But at the same time, I have got to be careful. I have got to be careful and make sure that I don't force saying anything. I say what I feel is right. I do what I feel is right. And not make the mistake of forcing that kind of thing on. So that's kind of the big thing for me. I hope she's doing good. As far as I'm aware, she's doing all right. Maybe not good, but she's doing all right. And I hope that she is gonna learn from us, learn from what happened. I like to think that I made some significant changes in her, and it's just a case of whether she sticks with them. Like the reality is, she requires an incredible amount of patience. You can't be impatient with her, and you've got to be able to accept that there are some stuff that just will be the way they are with her. And there are a lot of things that I accepted, but there were also things I didn't accept. And it took time for me to accept, and I should have accepted. And this time around, I know I will accept it.
They're not pushing. Stay on the B and C. They're rotating C. We can hear them.
C.
So, yeah. And I need to learn to
How many heals do I get?
be able to accept things like that in the future with her and with anybody else, if anybody else, right? I have no reason to believe that we're not meant to be anymore. I still believe we are. But right now,
No.
this
I love you,
version
Gecko. Sorry.
this version of me is not ready to pursue anything more than a friendship with her, and expect anything more. I need to give her time. I need to give her space to figure things out, just like I need time and space to figure things out myself. Before, I was not the type of person I was able to give people space because I couldn't quite wrap my head around and understand why would you want that.
Yeah.
Do I believe she loved me? 100%. I believe that she loved me, and that was never something I doubted, ever. Like maybe after the breakup I doubted it a bit, but I had every right to doubt it because obviously she broke up, right? I want what's best for her. I want her to be guided, and I hope that things work out
No way.
with her. I hope they do. I hope they do, because I don't want her to struggle and suffer.
They're rotating.
Yeah, I don't want her to,
Rotating.
I don't want her to suffer or anything.
Wait, they're still on C.
But at the same time, I understand that people do need to suffer to develop as a person.
They're still on C.
So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm not gonna, like I said, not gonna force anything.
Don't push, please.
I'm not gonna sit here and spend all my time like getting bothered by the way things have happened. Things happen for a reason. And I do believe that
Ace, my friend.
we both needed to go through this. We both needed this to happen. We both need to go through what we're going through right now if we ever want to have any kind of successful friendship or relationship in the future. She did, like that. She did nothing wrong. I want her to understand that, and I want her to know that. But that is something that I cannot tell her. That is something that will or will not happen. You know.
What is he doing? He's crouching.
Okay.
But the last thing I can do is try and force stuff upon her, and I'm not going to do that.
Can buy for someone.
So yeah, I like I said, I still believe we're going to reconnect. I still believe we're going to talk. I don't doubt the fact that she loved me. I truly believe that we both got to the point in our lives where this was my first ever relationship. Not only was it my first ever relationship, it was my first ever long distance. It was long distance too, which obviously makes things difficult. She requires a lot of patience. She requires a lot of effort. There's a lot of difficulty that comes with her. But they were all things I was accepting of, and they were all things that just helped me love her more and feel more
I'm behind them. Wait.
more
One A.
what's the word? More acceptant of her and more loving of her and this and that.
Do you have a timing? Nice.
Just yeah, they were all things that I liked about her. I liked the things that she was difficult. I liked that it wasn't easy. I liked that the things that came with her were part of her. So, and I there were some things that I struggled with. Of course, there were things that I struggled with. There were things that I should have recognised during the relationship that I did not. Things that I did that I should not have done, and the only thing I can do is make sure that I don't make the same mistakes with the next person. Whether that be with a different version of her,
I'm supposed to buy him.
whether that's a different version, whether that's with her or somebody else, it's a completely different matter. But I know that I need to fix this and do these things and make these changes in my life. because otherwise, if me and her
Okay, dude, stay on A.
if me and her get back together and reconnect, we're just gonna go. The same thing's just gonna happen again, because
78.
I haven't made these changes, and I'm gonna make the same mistakes, and I'm gonna do the same things. And I need to make sure that does not happen.
Maybe garage.
So I need to make these changes. I need to better myself for myself and future relationships, and of course her if we reconnect and if we get back together. I'm at the point where if she messaged, I would like her to message me very soon, just so I can talk to her. No other reason, and not to convince her or anything, not to push anything, just to literally just to I guess make her understand and know that things that I'm making changes and that things are changing between me and that I'm really trying to improve. But I don't know exactly what I'll say to her if she reaches out to me. I can't sit here and plan that. That is not just how it works. I can't make a script about all of that. All I can do is ask that she does. So for those of you that don't know, I have always been brought up in a religious setting. I try not to bring it up too much because I know some people have their opinions on religion, and it can be very controversial at times. But
Nice.
yeah, like the thing is
I miss.
yeah, she need. Oh, I would love her to reconnect with me.
She's
I would
crouching.
love
She
her
on
to
Reyna?
reconnect. I think it would be good.
Overhealed, overhealed.
And
One more. Oh, what? She's C, planting C. Fuck.
but all I can do, yeah,
What?
it's just wait, right? In time, it will get to a point where I'll realize, okay, that she's never going to contact me ever again, and then I can accept that and let go of her. Like I said, I've started to move on from our relationship and what we had.
Gosh.
One thing that I haven't
RH.
is let go of her completely. And that will happen if we're not meant to be. If things aren't meant to work out, then that will happen. I would love to know what she's thinking about me, what her intentions with the current guy are, whether that's just he's a distraction or anything more. I don't know. It would be nice to know how she feels about me, and it would be nice to know that she does plan to talk to me again. However, that again is something that I can't force. That is something that I can't gather. That is just something that I just have to just wait for, right? And in time, I'll know my answer. So on the front of like I still care about her with all my heart. I still love her with all my heart. And that won't change. I still want what's best for her. I still want her to be okay. I want her to be great. I want her to be happy. All of these different things. So that's not going to change. We are still best friends, or we were still best friends, and
Behind you.
and I think right now the best thing for both of us is a bit of time away from her. But like I said, it would be nice for her to reach out to me because there are stuff that I would say to her. Maybe not on the front of us in our relationship, because it's not the right time to bring that kind of thing up with her, because that is all still painful for her, just like it is for me. So if she reaches out to me, I will just literally be seeing how she is, asking how she's coping with everything, and that will be it, you know. And I'll advise her based on what I feel is right, and I will say what I feel I should say. So that will happen as time goes on. And like I said, it would be nice for it to happen today, and it still might happen today, but it might not. I'm currently in the right mindset where.
You want to go on
So
side or what?
my concern with reconnecting to her before this point in my life, before I started to make these changes and
Oh, yeah,
have this
for sure, bro.
mindset shift,
Too slow.
was that I would immediately talk to her about fixing our relationship and making things work between us all over again, and forcing that. When that is something that will happen and progress naturally, but I'm not gonna force it. She will be the one that brings it up to me. You know, that'll be something that she brings up to me, and that also that I will respond based on what I feel is right at the time. But I will say sorry to her for all the things that I did that I shouldn't have done, because there are stuff that I did that I shouldn't have done. There are plenty of things that I believe I did incorrectly, that I know I did incorrectly, and
What
that
are we doing, brother?
I've recognised, and
See through garage.
that that I've recognised, and I will make sure I don't make those same mistakes this time. So
Shaba, B, garage.
so that yes, so that's one thing that I think about. Is that's kind of lag. That's kind of important. Okay. Yeah, that's super important. I will say sorry because I've recognised, and I'll make sure that I don't make the same mistakes that I made again, whether that be with her or somebody else. So yeah, I keep losing my train of thoughts and trying to play Valorant and lost doing this, which obviously is a game that requires a lot of focus. As yes, I'm trying to think what I was trying to say. This is my ADHD getting in the way right now. I know I've repeated myself a lot throughout this video. But yeah, so there are things there are things that I did that I recognise and actions. There were times when I was manipulative. But there were times where I was a complete arsehole toward her. There were times where I guilt tripped her. There were times when I should have accepted stuff and I didn't. I accepted most of her, and I accepted a lot of her, but there were a couple of things I didn't accept when I should have. More so toward the end, after the initial breakup.
One's behind, I think.
But there are definitely and were things that I should have accepted. And I know like
We have 3A. Oh, we don't have to.
I know how to act in these situations this time around. I know how I should be in these situations. I know what I should say. I know what I should do in these situations now. That has all been things that have shifted in my mindset and helped me recognise that. So I am doing better. I'm still struggling. It still sucks, but I am doing better, and I'm going to continue. I'm going to continue to do better. Because
Shift.
I want to be the best version of me on the off chance that me and her reconnect, and on the off chance that me and her have a relationship again. And I don't want to make the same mistakes as I did the first time. I don't want things to go the same way. And they will if I don't make these changes, and if I don't fix these things and ensure that I stick to my guns, and on the front of recognising that there are things that I shouldn't have done that I did
Good
do,
round.
and
You see,
making sure I
just
don't
have
do
to
them
wait
again.
us. They push.
Making sure that I don't do that again.
They lurk.
Ready for
So
ready.
on the terms of
Yeah.
love, I think our relationship got to the point where yes, we both loved each other a lot, but it got to the point where our love was starting to develop deeper than that. It was starting to develop a deeper. So you have to, for those of you that may or may not have experienced love, love has two versions, or so I believe. Whether I'm correct or not is a different matter. But you have love, which
Okay,
is,
Chamber is opening on C.
you know,
Don't go C.
you love this
Let's push
person,
aside fast.
you appreciate every moment you have with them. They become this big part of your life. You accept
Motherfucker.
they're good
Ah.
and they're bad. And then you have love on a deeper level, on a deeper connection, where the love becomes. Oh, I just got sprayed for this one. That's unfortunate. It's hard to explain, but love just becomes something deeper than the first version of love. So, and I think our relationship got to that point where our love got to a deeper level, and we were both not either A, ready for that, or mature enough for that, or whatever the reason. But we couldn't get. We got to the beginning of our love becoming deeper, but it didn't progress further. Like I said, I had every intention of marrying her and getting engaged to her because I still believe today that we were meant to be, and I don't regret buying the ring. No, I did buy a ring. I bought 2 rings because I bought a ring, we broke up, and then I kind of like panicked and got rid of the ring, and then I bought another ring later on. That was unfortunate. I don't regret doing those things. I do maybe wish I did propose to her, because I know that she would have said yes, and I know she would have. We probably would have been engaged by now. But that being said, it doesn't matter if we were going to get engaged or not. If we didn't both, whether it was during our relationship or after relationship, work on these things and figure out these things and improve ourselves and change ourselves, and the result will be exactly the same. And that's the biggest. The result will be exactly the same if we both don't work on ourselves. Right? And there's every possibility that I work on myself and really do well and really do better. And she doesn't. But there are things that I struggled with. I was very insecure as a person. I also was at times very possessive. I had a bad habit of panicking and that kind of thing. That's all part of ADHD. Something that I'm trying to come to terms with. And like I said, I would love her to reach out to me today. That would be great. That's what I want, is to reach out. Her to reach out, and then we can figure out. Then we can figure things out. But that's may or may not happen, and I've got to be able to accept that.
Ceiling.
Don't peek. No way. Don't peek.
Up.
I'm gonna play with you.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm doing better. I hope she's doing good. I hope she's okay. I hope she's feeling good. There are still a bunch of other stuff that I'd love to say, but that's kind of the gist of what's going on. And because I'm going through all these things and all these changes within myself, I am not going to have the time to
Let's go.
upload and do videos like I want to. The content will or will not return. I have not decided yet. I would love for it to return. I would love for it to return. And I do wish her the best. And I will visit her one more time because I have stuff to collect. Unfortunately, we have commitments. We have a cat together, which in turn is going to make things difficult. Anyway, and I know if I went there to this day and stayed at her place, things would work. We would reconnect. She would, whatever's going on with her and this other guy would probably stop. And things would be good again. But I don't want that. I don't want that to happen until. I don't want to visit her until it's right and I can have a correct mindset and do things correctly, because I don't want to force her to. I don't want to force.
Oh my god, he's not flying. He's looking at the flag.
I don't want to force us a relationship or anything. That's not what I want to do. Because that's not good. Right now, we both need time away. We both need to work on ourselves. And yes, I 100% think we're going to reconnect.
We have to go.
I 100% believe that we are going to reconnect at some point. And I know we will.
Yeah, sorry.
And it's just a case of waiting at this point. So
Oh
yeah,
my god.
so
GG.
yeah,
That's
so yeah, that's kind of where I stand with things
Well
and,
played.
and everything.
Nice,
Um,
Lucky.
yeah, I'm doing better. I'm doing good. I'm working on changing a lot of things, and we will reconnect. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to get you guys to know and understand. And yeah, I don't know what more to say. I kind of ranted on a bit, but it kind of gives you guys a bit of perspective on what's going on. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Of course, I'm not expecting everybody to like watch this. I don't have a big audience anyway. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I shall catch you all later.